Hello and welcome to a special segment of LB Media Group. So, from time to time, I will engage in other content outside of just media and red carpet events and fashion shows. I actually love reading, I love books, and you will see me from time to time on this page do book reviews. So I'm excited about this latest book series I just purchased. And I'm not done with all the books, but I just could not wait to let you all know. I'll get right into it because it's a lot of information, and I wanted to build community with other fans of this author. So the author here is none other than herself, the amazing goddess SheRa Seven, a She-Ra goddess. She plays to both her lifestyle but also spiritual. So I really appreciate that. I had to get everything I can get my hands on. I think at the time I was purchasing, I only saw 3 books. I believe she has up to 5, maybe even more. So I wanted to get right into it and just give my review so far, and then let you know what I have in store and what I'm expecting to get from this amazing author. So the first book I'm reading is a very quick and easy read. It is called I Bring Nothing to the Table. When I first heard this title, I thought it was so funny because that's that age old question, very modern, but age old question that is circulating in our community right now. And this is something that I'm assuming men are asking on dates, but I definitely see it all over the podcast world online. And so it was a very quick and simple answer that she gave, which I love, is I bring nothing to the table. I am the guest of honor. So for those that follow me, they know I'm a socialite. I go to events. I'm working. I'm enjoying. It depends on what I want to do that day. And so I really love this concept. Think about it. You're going to a beautiful sponsored event, and the guest of honor really is appreciative of everyone that's there. And so I think our people are sometimes in the mindset like they want to get in the kitchen and start cooking, and they want to start helping with the servers. And I highly doubt these people will be at these events, but that's the mentality. So I appreciate all the amazing events that I go to around Los Angeles, New York, really around the world that I've been to, and never once has the party host ever asked me to bring something like it's a potluck type style karaoke, everybody be wild, whatever. That has never happened. So that just reminded me of the luxury lifestyle, the luxurious lifestyle that our party hosts, they are appreciative of our presence. We are the guests, and they want us to feel at home, feel comfortable, and feel like we're a part of the celebration. So I always keep that in mind. And because of her passage there, I thought that was great advice. And so the book goes into the glossary of terms that you may see on her or hear on her show. And so pick Misha, for example, and from my understanding, she coined this phrase. Um, Pick Misha, a desperate woman who will do and say anything to be picked by a man, even if he is broke. And I believe she has a video called Are You Desperate for Dust? And I think about it more and more, and I start to realize a lot of our sisters are SD Sugar Daddy, Bob the Builder chick. I think she's elevated to Barbara the Builder, which I love that term. So sisters got to get out of that. Um, we are not construction workers. Stop playing with us. And even if you go to the comedic sciences, okay, you had the builders of the pyramids, but you had Shashat, who came up with the mathematics. So all she brought to that situation was her brain power and the mathematics and how to build the pyramids. So don't go out there slaving to build pyramids and nations. You've done enough. But I just love this. A woman who builds with a man or builds up a man with her own money and career. She eventually gets left for another woman after he becomes financially stable. Whew, I don't want to start getting to no personal stories, but good gracious. And you'll hear her say on her show a lot, Dusty, the Dusties, a broke man who needs a woman's financial help on dates. living expenses, and more. He has no ambition and no money. And there's a report going around right now that most young men are lonely and broke and they can't afford to date, whereas with young women, they're pretty much all taken. So, young girls, congratulations to you. POT, potential sugar daddy, or may say pot. I haven't heard her use that term, so I'll be on the lookout for that. Bonetta, a woman who wears her sleeping bonnet and pajamas in public. It's not safe to do that, ladies. So, for so many reasons. Ratchetta, the ratchet chick who has no manners and is very trashy in the way she walks, talks, dresses, and thinks. She usually never gets a second date. And then we got Sharkeisha, a typical hood chick who we know will not hesitate to fight a sister in public and for the world star. So then the book goes into question and answer. I'm just gonna just randomly pick here. Okay, great. So she goes right into the Q&A. I'll read some here. Just a few passages for the remainder of this book. Very quick, easy, light read. As you can see, very thin here. It says, what can a woman bring to the table? The answer, I bring nothing to the table unless he wants me to bring another man who needs nothing from me. A woman can be invited to the table as the guest of honor, and that's it. She can bring herself. If a man needs you to bring something else, then he is not a man who deserves company. He needs to go back to the drawing board until he can afford something besides a potluck. We're not Pygmishas. Maybe you want to invite Pygmisha and she'll pay the whole thing out of frustration. Why can't women look and dress well while being less demanding? Answer, because looking and dressing well costs money. If men don't have money, we can't look and dress well for them. We don't waste our time getting dressed up for Applebee's or Starbucks. We're not going to waste our time getting dressed so we can stick our own hand in our purses to buy our own drinks. The least men can do is pay for a meal at a fine restaurant because we have spent hours getting ready to look good for him. He needs to do the rest. If he can't, we can easily walk over to somebody else who can do it for us. And all the effort we took to get ready will pay off. And I'll just read one more here because y'all really need to get this. It's just, I was just going through it. And it seems like her comment section, during her live sometimes. So maybe if you get her book, you won't ask so many of the same redundant questions. Some guys are attached to the idea that a woman ought to know how to cook. Why is that? They keep mistaking you as their mother. Here's my idea, according to SheRa Seven. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I love her. She says, when a modern woman thinks about a romantic relationship or marriage, I don't think she thinks about cooking. I think she desires a nice husband who's respectful and who can give her a nice house, kids, and go on vacations, etc. She's not thinking about being in the kitchen washing dishes while he sits in front of the TV and eats. If I ever cook, the man better be at the dinner table and not watching TV. He needs to be talking about something of interest. I'm not cooking if he's going to sit in front of the TV and watch it. That's a waste of a meal. And I think it's best for families to sit and eat together. 3 books that I have here, but this is the second one. And so beautiful there, as you can see. And this is called Leveling Up to Your Best Life, Creating a Life of Comfort and Luxury, of course, by the author SheRa Seven. She is also the author of I Bring Nothing to the Table. You just saw here The Wisdom of SheRa Seven and Do What You Love. And I think she has another one called I'm Too Pretty to Pay Bills. That concept is ringing true. I love it. Leveling up to your best life will allow you to start from where you are. This book will help you make the most of what you already have, which I love because it's all about using the resources that you spend so much money on, and then you're like, I need to still buy more, I need to still buy more, but you haven't utilized, you haven't enjoyed the home that you worked so hard to enjoy. This book will help you make the most of what you already have and learn to add a touch of comfort and luxury to all that you experience. Allow this book to take you on a cozy journey into what you never thought was possible in your current lifestyle. This book is for any budget and also allows you to be creative and joyful doing what you love. Learn how to enjoy your life a lot more. Staying in love with life is how we achieve happiness. Leveling Up to Your Best Life is a book you will want to read over and over to stay in love with life. And I will admit, there are some chapters that I'm not feeling right now. I may not be up for it, but I can see myself going back to it. And I remember I was reading one chapter, I think it was the Unbothered, and I'm like, I'm not feeling that right now. As soon as I thought that, I got a really weird phone call and it just kind of really upset me. And I was like, now I'm ready for this chapter. I mean, it was that quick. So I just wanted to give that advice. But what I love about this book is that she gives us very beautiful aesthetics. So I wanted to show you an example because she herself is so pretty. I wanted to share, like, this is the kind of uh, photos she's including in her messaging. And so this is the lifestyle I already have, I already live. And so it's already in my home, but I haven't really taken time to enjoy it. And most days I do, but I'm like, I can cozy up a whole lot more than what I'm doing. So I love that she's sharing with us her aesthetic. This is one of my favorite places in the world. Oh my gosh, I love Rodeo Drive. But look at and what an amazing capture. That is for those that are coming, you know, that hill you come down, you go, I just said, whoa. I've seen some beautiful shots of Rodeo Drive, but this in Beverly Hills is that takes the cake. That is so beautiful to look at in between learning the lessons. And I love that. Oh, this is the comfort and luxury chapter. And I love that she gives a summary at the end of every chapter just to kind of go back over. So I'll give an example, just an excerpt here because I really need to go buy this Sistar's book, support the Sistar. She says, always look for solutions rather than focusing on the problem or what seems to bother you. And I just had that same lesson in a business lesson not too long ago. And it said, do not pitch a problem without providing a solution. I love it. So again, staying unbothered is a form of self-care. Take a break from any issue that seems to bother you. Learn how to respond to the people who tend to bother you. Disconnect from Wi-Fi sometimes in order to limit companies from over advertising or emailing you because we all say it. The phones, the devices are listening. So I love that she's preaching more about a digital detox. In the next session, you will learn, and then she'll give you a preview of what's going on, how to spend quality time with those you love, and how to make that quality time comfortable and luxurious. I will explain expensive and traditional ways to have fun and bond that you can afford. For those who are able to spend, I will also explain several ways how you can bond with others and feel the comforts and luxury in your life. And so this is a book that I haven't gotten into yet. SheRa, The Wisdom of SheRa 7, Daily Affirmations and Quotes. But I really think this is going to be the book that I probably go to every day just, you know, to get my mind right. And so she says on this Thank you to everyone. You allow me to follow my passions to help others become their best versions of self. I would not be here if it were not for all of my wonderful subscribers, followers, friends, and family. Stay dust free and love yourself. Sprinkle, sprinkle from SheRa 7. So happy for her. And I thought this was the least I could do because I can't comment because I've only been following for like 4 or 5 months yet. And I think she's only put in like 5 years. But I think that's very wise of her. And that shows self-care as well. Because even though the questions are redundant and I learned from the redundant questions, I'm still going back and looking over all her content. And that's what we should be doing. And every TV show have breaks of filming in between. Sometimes you just gotta let people when you have a series out or what have you, you know, they break up seasons, they go on hiatus, there's a mid-season break, what have you. Take time, let some things, you know, happen, get caught up. And I think that's what she's doing. I think that's a sign of self-love, to not overexert yourself and to say, I've put out 10 years worth of content. That's what she says. I don't blame her. Let us all get caught up since she's going viral on TikTok, and that's not her. That's somebody else is using her numbers to, you know, get their account up, but that's not cool. So I'm just gonna go into this, and so as you can see here, I'll read these because maybe I need this for today. I can only control me, and when you can control self, you can change your environment. I love that, and I like this one too. The best revenge on an ex is to get a better one, look better, and become out of his league so he can never afford you again. And hey, level up. And so again, I love the aesthetics. I love the photos she uses. Very polished, very clean. Says you're going to get tired after a while and want to settle down after a certain age. Oh my gosh, that's where I am in life now. Read me, sister, as I read you. After a certain age, so you should focus on doing that younger rather than later. It's going to be harder later. And then another one, if a man is not paying your bills and you're still working, you should not be sleeping with him. Hey, look, lesson learned. Look, coming out of this pandemic, this is how we should arise from the ashes, much like the phoenix. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to get back into this. I'm going to put on my classical music because I'm listening to Joseph Bologne de Chevalier de Saint Jorge's right now, which is one of our own French Creole composers from the Caribbean. And I just saw the movie. So that's one of the lessons she gives as well. Just cozy up with your favorite tea and playing that music around the house. We have our own classical music composer. So imagine that you're at home, you're enjoying yourself, and you have beautiful classical music playing. It just makes you feel very comfortable and luxurious. And I think that's the lesson that our sister wants for us. So I am so appreciative of SheRa Seven Sprinkle. Buy her books, and maybe we can all, talk about her amazing books as a community. And she's just so great, and maybe we'll get to chat with her about it on like a super chat or something, or I don't know, maybe she'll do a video so we can just like, all just tell her how much we appreciate her. But this is my book review. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, take care and good luck.